Hello and welcome to my podcast, Up Your Total Glow, your podcast for your body, mind, and soul to support, guide, and empower you to uncover your most glowing, healthiest, and feel good version of you. I am super excited that you're here because if you ask me, there's nothing that looks and feels better. In today's episode, I'm speaking with the absolutely brilliant and wonderful Tina Mc Dermott. Tina is an inspirational chef, speaker, and weight loss coach, and it is her goal to reach out to as many people humanly possible through health, wellness, and exercise to help make this world a better place. She also specializes in helping people with emotional issues of eating. She is an expert in helping you to lose weight and teaches exercise and nutrition in small groups and corporations. This was an absolutely beautiful interview with a very emotional start. Tina tells us about her own story and journey towards health, what inspired her and still inspires her to become even healthier and to help even more people. Of course, she tells us about the 4 keys to a joyful gut and why weight loss is a natural way of being without yo-yo dieting. This interview is full of wisdom, and for you, if it is your goal to uncover an even more glowing, healthier, more fulfilled version of you. Please enjoy. Hello and welcome, beautiful Tina. I am so very excited to have you here today. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the show. You already have me in tears pre-show.
Oh yeah, I feel a little bit the same. Maybe we can go into this why we are a little bit teary just a little bit later. I would first like you to introduce yourself to my audience. Who are you, beautiful Tina?
Oh, thank you. Hello. My name is Tina Mc Dermott. I am the Joyful Inspirational Chef, or the Inspirational Joyful Chef, Lazy Chef. Oh my gosh. I don't even know who I am this morning. I'm a weight loss coach, and I'm a health and wellness coach. I've been teaching health and wellness all of my life, and as a business for the last 22 plus years. And I can tell you this is my joy and my passion. And I am so honored to be here with you on your show so that I can bring this joy and passion to as many people on this planet as humanly possible. And one human plus you, and we're just going to spread the word of joy and health and wellness to the world. So thank you for having me on the show.
I love it, and I can feel all of this. And this is, I think, why we are so in tune with each other. We have so much in common. I think there is a huge journey behind your mission, or usually there is. Can you talk us a little bit through your own journey, or also what inspires you?
Absolutely. And I just have to get these tears out, and I have to let you know who inspires me, why I'm inspired, and it's all part of my journey. When I was 19, my elder sister, she was 23 at the time, was diagnosed with breast cancer. Her name is Ana Maria. And she had a journey of 24 years before she made her transition at 48 years old, 11 years ago, 11 plus. And ever since then, actually, even before then, I was questioning health and wellness, right? And I always had gas and bloating, and people called it the Tina zone because I wasn't there mentally. And it was terrible. My sisters even called me puzza. Okay. And that means stinky in Italian. It's terrible. Okay. I had to grow up with that nickname because I didn't know why I had gas and bloating. And so I had all these gastrointestinal issues. I was, again, not there mentally all of the time. Like my brain couldn't focus most of the time. Then my sister was diagnosed with cancer. I had a biopsy done because there was a lump. So I started this amazing journey of learning as much as I can about health and wellness. And since I'm 5 years younger than my sister, Anna, I have another sister in the middle, Rose. But I'm her little sister, so she wouldn't listen to anything that I discovered. She had to learn it for herself. So that's a whole nother story unto itself of how to deal with someone who doesn't want your help. We can talk about that if you want. And from there, I just read all of the books I could. I became a personal trainer. And then I discovered I had Lyme disease in my mid-30s. And I went through this whole 5 years of discovering how to get rid of the Lyme out of my body, which I have done that. And now my brain is clear. My gastrointestinal system is clear. And if I do have gas and bloating, I know exactly what gave it to me, because I know that, oh, what did I eat last night? Oh, that's right. I had a glass of wine and I had that, what, dot, dot, dot. So I know what it is. But now I'm just dealing with the mopping up and the taking care of my brain, taking care of my gut, taking care of my body. All of this has been inspired from my sister, Anna. And you and I have a deep connection when it comes to losing somebody who's very dear to you. So
we do.
Tears.
We do. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, this is also why this interview today is so very dear to me, dear to you, and important, because today is the birthday of my best girlfriend who died almost 2 years ago. And this is, yeah, where we feel connected and why there are a little bit of tears between the two of you, but we wanted to keep it organic. And even though we are joyful and empowering, we are also very authentic. And this is our inspiration, or part of our inspiration. And thank you so much also for sharing your own journey. It's empowering to hear that our bodies are able to reset, to rejuvenate, to heal, and to recover if we give our bodies the right support. This is exactly what you have been doing and what you're doing. And I can also very much relate to that not everyone wants our help, and this can feel very tough and hard. So if you have steps how we can change this, I would love to hear, because I'm always learning. So fill me in on that one.
Just so I'm clear, fill in on how to help somebody who doesn't want your help. Is that correct? Is that where that strikes me, because I coach my clients, and my clients, they say, well, I want them to change. And because I've gone through what I've gone through, I'm able to help them and coach them through that. And this is what I went through. Anna wouldn't. I'm like, Anna, I heard about coconut oil. It's wonderful for you, and you should try eating it every day. Blah. She did not want to hear me, and I felt so hurt. So I had some therapy, and none of the therapy really worked. I was with my naturopathic doctor one day, and she specializes in people who have cancer, but she was helping me that day. And I told her, I'm like, oh, she doesn't want to listen to me. And I'm just, oh, poor me, because it's all about me, right? It was all about me. It wasn't about my sister, but it was about how I feel terrible that she's suffering and she doesn't want to listen to me. Again, you hear that. It's all about me. It wasn't about her. And I mean, it is about her, but it's not. It really came from my feelings. And what Stephanie, my doctor, told me, she says, Tina, it's not about you. Well, why don't you just take a step back and talk to her about what she wants to talk about? I said, well, that's difficult. I don't want to talk to her about her beauty shop. I don't have anything. She says, Tina, but it's not about you. It's about her. And I said, but how can I sit there with her when she doesn't feel well and I just want to help her? And you just sit there with her and you be there with her. And here, there's a beautiful, gorgeous piece that has come from this. Beautiful piece that's come from this. Many pieces. And so I learned when I was with her, anytime I was with her, I'm always with her because she's always in my heart and on my shoulders. And I would just be with her. I would just be with her. I would talk to her about her shop. Sometimes she didn't want her beauty salon, although she couldn't go. She went maybe once a week as a celebrity, once a week at her shop. And because people loved her. Oh my gosh, people loved her. And I would talk to her about that. I would talk to her about the show she was watching, or anything but nutrition, anything but health.
Mm.
And it helped me take a back seat.
Mm.
And one day I was home, and Stephanie, after that conversation with her, she says, Tina, just let her know that you're there for her. And I did. I says, Anna, I love you and I'm here for you. So I got one of my beautiful little cards. I have little cards that had a butterfly on it. And I wrote her a little note. Anna, I love you. I'm here for you when you need me.
Beautiful.
Made me feel so good. So I sent it. She never said anything to me. After her passing, of course, my sister Rose and I were going through her stuff. I find the card.
Mm.
And I have the card that I wrote that she had. And what came of that, when you are at the end of life, you don't want it to be the end of life. You don't want it to be there. I don't believe this is going there, but this is what's coming up. And so I'm inspired to talk about this. She wasn't ready. And when Rose and I talked to her about her will, she would get mad. So we couldn't go there. Finally, she was, not by us, but by my mom and dad and a friend of the family who was an attorney, presented with her will. And it was very difficult for her to do the will. And it was right around that time that she received my card. And she made me the executrix for her estate. And I feel in those moments, I was able to be there for her, to comfort her, to know that, okay, Tina's going to take care of this. Mind you, it took me 5 years to settle her estate, to go through all the emotions of all of that. Very difficult. However, just be there for them. And remember, it's not about you. It's all about what they want in that moment. And for you to just be there.
I love that. And this is so beautifully explained what coaching is and what the difference between coaching and maybe consulting or telling someone to do something is. Beautiful. Absolutely. Very beautifully explained. And I might refer to this because I sometimes struggle to explain what is the difference. Yes, of course, it's active listening. It's not just telling someone what to do, but meet them where they're at and helping them to understand the whole process. But what you just explained is so much more relatable and more beautiful. Thank you so much for this. I would love to hear a little bit about your cooking. So you are such an amazing inspirational chef, and I love cooking. I love eating. And how can we cook in a simple way that is also beautifully delicious and that also promotes our health?
I love that question. My goal is for people to find joy in the kitchen, even if they don't know how to cook or like to cook. Because I feel that health and wellness really starts in the kitchen. It starts in the kitchen. And my clients say, well, I don't want to cook. Oh, okay. So you want health and wellness, but you don't want to prepare your food. And I'm having this struggle with two of my clients. Their husband, their wife and wife, and they have this struggle. I want to be healthy, but I don't want to cook.
I can relate. I've got these clients too.
Yeah, and I'm coaching them and coaching them and coaching them. And finally, what we've concluded is that they need a personal chef. And she is interviewing personal chefs right now. And that's the way that they need to go, because both of them are very busy professionals and they don't want to cook. Okay, I gotta find a solution. So let's go back to the kitchen for the rest of us who are not going to hire a personal chef. And I'm Italian. My parents are literally off the boat Italian. Our meals were at home. They were together in the family. Always. You waited until daddy came home from work. And that's when we ate. But you sat at the table and waited for him to come home. Okay.
I love that.
And because families who eat together stay together. It's just, that's that's how I feel. And I'm going to digress for a moment. When my niece, when she was a teenager, almost teenager, she was having some issues. So the family therapist told my sister and family, have meals together. Have meals together. Now, my sister got home from work. It was 7:30. By the time they ate dinner, it was 8 o'clock, sometimes 8:30. And it didn't matter. Dinner was together, period. So one of the number one things I would say to go into the kitchen is not just to go into the kitchen to prepare the food. Do it, prepare with family. Yes, get the children involved. Yes, get your spouse involved. Get the dogs involved. I'm teasing. And
why not?
Yeah, why not? And eat together. Cook together, prepare together, eat together.
Totally.
I love it. One of my favorite things when at home, and my husband has a hard time sitting in the kitchen and eating with me, I'm just going to tell you. When we go to the beach house, he has no choice. Sit with me at the table, and it's one of my favorite things. And when we do on occasion go out to a restaurant, it's one of my favorite things. We get to sit and eat together. Okay. So let's find joy in the kitchen. Personally, I find joy with knowing that my fruits and my vegetables came from Mother Earth. I personally take joy in the colors, the smells, everything of the food. And I know that food is what's keeping me alive. And it's funny, and I know came from the farm, right? Because my parents, my relatives in Italy, a lot of them are farmers. I'm very close to Mother Earth and the farm, and I garden myself and compost and all of that. And it brings me joy to know that our world is nourishing us. So that's number one. And many people these days feel like food comes from a drive-through.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And it comes from Mother Earth. We got to go back to the farm. And I have a lot of gratitude for the farmer, for the soil, for the effort that went into cultivating those fruits and vegetables. So go to a farmer's market, go to the grocery store and buy your produce, because fruits and vegetables particularly, are life. They're full of enzymes that are life. I can go on and on and on about what fruits and vegetables do for you. They're full of fiber. They're full of vitamins, nutrients, phytonutrients, flavonoids. Let's keep going, right? Anthocyanidins, whatever comes to mind. And every different color of the produce, different colors of the rainbow, offer you different components that you need in order to live. Now, look, I'm not proponing to be a vegan or a vegetarian. I encompass everyone in the world, okay? And my philosophy of eating is eat foods that walk, fly, swim, and grow. Eat foods that walk, fly, swim, and grow as close to Mother Nature as possible. The more they're processed, the worse they are for us, right? So if you take that philosophy and you apply that, okay, let's bring produce home, and now let's eat the broccoli. Let's eat the salads in every meal. And if you're just beginning with this, just think about one color every meal, one color of produce every single meal. Whether it's an orange for breakfast, and I don't care if it's strawberries for lunch, just add that to your meal, and some greens for dinner. Start there, and then adding more colors, adding more colors, adding more colors. And I know I keep going on and on in tangents, but I hope that did that answer your question, or should I go a little deeper?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can feel the joy and the passion. And I also feel we would have so much fun together in the kitchen, cooking first and then eating up a storm. I'm totally with you on everything you said, and also on the eating together. For me, this is also an absolutely important, non-negotiable fact in my home, that I and my family eat together as much as it's possible. And I feel, especially when you have children, teenagers at home, this is really important, because of all the social media, everything that is happening. I have 2 teenage girls, and they look very different. One, has the ideal curves, and the other one has the, in quotation marks, both ideal model figure. I mean, for me, there is no ideal. We are all ideal the way we are, but they are constantly comparing each other. They are both beautifully in their own way. One has the curves, the other has the long legs. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever we have, we are beautiful. But I can see how the outside world can be so damaging to their inside world. And I feel just by eating together, eating whole foods together, celebrating those meals, celebrating what comes from the earth, or as you said, from the water, from the land, can give us grounding, can give us some source of, at least this is okay, we are okay, and yeah, we are doing this together, this is love. I don't know if this makes sense what I just said, but and also what you said, you know, with that we are living in this beautiful world, which I feel is our universe, our macroorganism, and then we are the little microorganisms within this world, and we are not separate from each other. So yes, of course, if we celebrate what comes from the earth and using this within us, of course we will be more healthy and more connected. So I would love to hear, absolutely, if you want to say more about this, what I just said, my whole rant.
No. And grounded. You had said the word grounded, and I really like that. Grounded, that we are here, we are alive. This is a beautiful, joyful place to be.
Yeah.
And when you eat the food from the earth, you become just joyful. That's how I feel. That's how I see it.
And it is. I mean, eating is pleasure.
Yes.
But then there are so many levels and layers now added onto it, which can be quite detrimental, but we'll go later into this. I first would like to hear from you. How did you heal your gut health? You mentioned that you had Lyme disease and that there was so much wrong with your gut. Can you just talk my audience a little bit through this? What do you do to recreate a better microbiome, a better microorganism, in our gut?
Microbiome. Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind is gratitude for the fact that we have these amazing bodies that heal themselves, that we want to heal. You cut yourself, you want to heal. Your body wants to heal.
Totally.
It's amazing. Now, your body, if you cut yourself and your body's trying to heal and you cut yourself again, it's not going to happen, okay? Because you keep cutting yourself. And it's the same thing when you're eating damaging foods in your gut. Let's just take gluten, for example. I am steadfast knowing that gluten affects every single person on this earth. How it can be incredibly damaging, to more so to some people than others. I try to convince my sister Rose of this. I try in a loving way, and I'm almost there with her. It's taken me years, but you know, you got to meet people where they are. Yes, I'm getting off track. Digestive system, gut, healing your microbiome. In the beginning of the Lyme disease, I went to, a Lyme professional, and if you do have Lyme, go to, and that's not about Lyme, but he put me on a whole bunch of antibiotics. And Lyme, they're really tricky because you hit it with an antibiotic and it goes and it hides and it creates this biofilm around it. So then you got to hit it with another antibiotic because it'll come out to play, and then you have to hit it with another antibiotic. And so this went on for years. So my gut was already destroyed because I probably had Lyme disease. Tracing it back, remember I said my brain was fuzzy as a teenager, tracing it back likely to my teenage years, if not younger. I don't know exactly. So you're constantly, so it was the Lyme that really damaged my gut, right, to begin with. And then all of these antibiotics for a couple of years. Now I did antibiotics along with, I had a nutritionist, I had supplements left and right. I cannot tell you how much money I spent on supplements and on doctors because it was all out of pocket to help heal my gut. I mean, to heal me from the Lyme disease, which also destroyed my gut. And finally, in the 5th year, I met a wonderful woman, and she's become one of my best friends. And it's been 11 years now that I've been taking this particular supplement that I will tell you eradicated the Lyme and has also helped me heal my gut. Now, the gut healing was definitely it wasn't the one thing that helped just, there's many other things that help the
It's
gut.
never just one thing.
Yeah. And other than the redox signaling molecules that I took and that I still take to this day, I also take probiotics, not the ones from the grocery store. Cut it out. Stop wasting your money. Okay. Not the and digestive enzymes. So I do this digestive enzyme therapy with my clients, and that really helps to heal the gut. And enzymes, when you take them with food, digest the food. When you take them away from food, they heal your cells, especially if you take proteolytic enzymes. So I can go into detail about all of that. And I also take, for my brain, blue-green algae. It's pristine, organic blue-green algae that helps my brain, helps every cell in my body, because I don't do multivitamins. I don't need the multivitamin. I get the vitamins from from the fruits and the vegetables and from my blue-green algae that just nourishes my cells. You can actually live on this algae. I'm not telling you to, because no, you're not gonna, but you could live on it. It has everything that your body needs, and it's wonderful for my brain. And I can tell the difference when, not on a day-to-day basis, but if I don't take it for a whole week, I can tell the difference in my body, with my brain, especially the redox signaling molecules that I've been taking for 11 years. I can tell a difference when I take it and when I don't. So basically it just heals your cells on an ongoing basis, because we want to heal. And as we age, I'm 55, we produce less of those healing. We heal, our healing ability becomes less and less. Let's just say it that way. And it's not that we're less powerful or anything like any of that. It's, we need extra support. So there really is anti-aging available to people. I tell them I'm 55 and people just, their jaws drop. Like, really? Yeah. Well, also because I act young, because I feel young.
But I can totally relate to this. If on a very cellular level, we start to help to heal our bodies, then of course we can feel so much younger than we actually are. And it's the same for me. I just turned 48 and I feel so much more vibrant and alive than I did feel in the beginning of my 20s. And yes, of course, I look older and I've got wrinkles and maybe I can't run as fast anymore. It's not about that. It's not about staying young forever, but it's about aging with vitality and yeah, exactly. And joy, like you always say. So I'm absolutely with you. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I would love to hear your take on dieting.
Oh, I hate that word.
Right, I thought so. That's why I asked.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I call it a capital D, capital I, capital E with a small t.
Yeah,
Who
I agree.
wants to die it? We want to live it. We want to live. We want to have nutrition. I despise that word. And some people would argue with me, but I don't care. I don't care. Don't want to diet. I do not diet. I hate even saying the word. I want to live it. I want to teach people to live their lives in joy and eat foods that bring them joy. If you eat a food that brings you joy for a couple of seconds and then makes you feel miserable, why eat it? Right? Why eat it? Why? And boy, there's all the emotional healing that comes around all of that. But I want you to live it and think about, remember my philosophy on eating. It's eat the way that Mother Nature has taught us. The closer to the way that it comes from Mother Earth, the better it is for you. Eating foods that walk, fly, swim, and grow, with a huge emphasis on grow. And combine your meals with 3/4 of the plate with protein, with vegetables and or fruit, right? A little bit of some really nice clean protein. When I say clean protein, I mean organic, even beef. Just make sure it's organic, it's grass-fed. Chicken, you can even do pork. Just make sure it's pastured pork, eggs, and then a little bit of fat on every single meal. Some olive oil, some nuts, some seeds whole, okay? Or you grind them yourself. Of course, the olive oil, the avocados. So when you eat in this manner, mostly vegetables, a little bit of protein and a little bit of fat, it actually blunts the rise in blood sugar. So for people who are pre-diabetic or diabetic, The best time to eat cake is after a meal, especially if it's your birthday. So I'm not saying never to eat cake again, but eat it after the meal, because the meal, the vegetables, the protein, the fat, along with the cake, will help blunt the rise in the blood sugar. And I can go into detail about how insulin is an insult if you'd like me to. I don't want to go on and on and on, though. It's up to you.
Yeah, we can go into this in a second. I just would like to say that I am 100% with you again. And I also feel that I would go even a step further. I even feel that dieting is the first step into creating emotional eating or a disordered way of eating, because my take on diets is that they don't work. They don't make sense, because obviously our bodies is way too smart and they react, they adapt, which then means we have to either cut more calories or train harder, and we can't go on and on. Obviously, we need energy and we need rest, and yeah, so it just doesn't work. What it does, it makes us feel very bad, and this starts something in our head which can be very detrimental and creates a very unhealthy relationship to food and to our bodies. So this is my take, and this is why I love you so much, because you just have so much juicy joy in the kitchen with your cooking, with your clients. And this is exactly what I want to bring to the world, how I feel about food, about eating, about nutrition as well. So this is why I asked this question, because I knew it's totally against what you live for.
I love it. I love it. And something else came up to me to add to all of this is that when you go on those programs that are out there, and you can name them all, and I'm not going to, what they focus on is the number on the scale. They could care less that it's ruining your metabolism, because the number on the scale likely is you losing muscle. So your metabolism takes a tank. Your metabolism, muscles dictate metabolism. And if you step on the scale like, yes, I'm losing weight, it's all a farce. Get a tape measure, take a tape measure out, use that instead of the scale, and that will not lie to you. The scale lies, and if you're married to the scale, get a divorce. Get a divorce, because what happens is that you're done with the program. Yay, I lost 20 pounds. I feel great. But they didn't teach you how to live your life. They didn't teach you how to eat for the rest of your life.
And also why you had gained that weight in the first place.
Thank you.
Because there is a reason.
We're so passionate together. I love it. And they don't deal with the emotional issues of it all. And now you go back to normal eating because the emotions are coming back up, and you're stress eating because you're not on accountability. You're not
hungry.
And you're hungry. And you gain all the weight back, plus with some friends. You gain even more weight back. Absolutely. And that is yo-yo dieting. That is yo-yo dieting. How do I know? Because I've done it. I've done it. I've been there. I've been obsessed with it all. And I don't do it anymore. And now I teach people how to live.
Not yet met one woman. I would be really interested to hear if you have, who, you know, hasn't had her own experiences with some form of dieting or restricted eating. And I just think this is crazy. This is so crazy. This is why, you know, we need you. We need you to make sure you shout it from the rooftops how fun eating is, and that there is a different way, and that it's definitely not about the calories and not about how much you weigh. It's how you feel, how much energy you have, and the byproduct of eating the way you just mentioned is that, yeah, actually we will lose weight, or we'll have the weight that is really good for us. Maybe we don't even need to lose the weight, you know? Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And I talk with a lot of women who are in menopause. I'm 55, I'm going through menopause, right? And they're like, oh, I got to get rid of these fat cells, or I got to get rid of the fat on my thighs. And you know what I say to them? Love every single fat cell
Yeah.
that you have. Just give them all love.
Awesome.
If they want to stay with you, they'll stay with you. If they want to go, they'll go.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at them, because also, as we're going through every decade of our lives, we should have probably another 5 pounds on us. If you are 90 years old, or excuse me, let's just say 70 years old, and you're 120 pounds standing at 5'5", you're too light.
Mm.
It's too light, because fat cells actually produce estrogen. And we need that. We absolutely need that. And people like, oh, I don't want to have any of this fat. It's disgusting. I want to be like in my 20s. You're not in your 20s.
Mm.
I can get passionate about this because it's okay to have a little bit of fat. And I'm not talking 25,000 pounds.
No,
of
I
it.
totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I just feel, you know, we have also different body types and
Mhm.
we all look very different. And I think as long as we nourish and to nurture our bodies, and this is exactly what you have been saying, then our bodies will be okay. Our bodies will be vital. We will feel good. And then, yeah, this is then perfect. This is our bodies which are alive and happy, and we can feel happy with those bodies too. But yes, please tell us a little bit about the glycemic nutrition. So is it important to make sure that the glycemic index stays low? Because you mentioned before about pre-diabetic states and the insulin. So just maybe briefly.
Yeah. Okay. So very quick. If you are insulin resistant or into diabetes, and if you don't know, get your A1C checked, get it checked. I know so many people who don't go to the doctor and get their blood work. Get your blood work done and check your A1C. You want your A1C around 5, if not lower than that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So A1C is your blood glucose over time. Now, when we eat sugar, let's just take a breakfast of orange juice and pancakes with syrup, tons of sugar. Our body cannot handle it. Our brain cannot handle it. So our body's in its infinite wisdom needs to excrete insulin, which is a hormone, and it's a fat storage hormone. It goes into the blood cell and into the blood, and it sops up all of that glucose, and it takes it on a date. It says, come on, glucose, we got to get out of this bloodstream because it's too dangerous for our brain. Takes it on a journey through the liver, but we're not going to talk about the liver. It goes to the muscles, and it knocks on the muscle cells, and it says, hey, let me in. I want to feed you. But if you're eating sugar day after day, year after year, decade after decade, those muscle cells shut down. They no longer take up sugar. So insulin has to bypass the muscle and go right into fat storage. Now, resistance training, building your muscles, and I'm not talking bodybuilder style, I'm talking let's get some strong muscles, helps with the bones. It also helps you uptake any of that sugar when on occasion you're going to have that birthday cake. Okay, so that you have new muscle cells that can uptake a little bit of sugar. Your muscles can only hold 2 hours worth of sugar. So again, if you're eating all of that sugar in one meal and you do have healthy muscle cells, it's still going to put some of it into fat storage. I call insulin an insult to your body. That is why you want to just don't go crazy over this. Just every meal, make sure you have vegetables, make sure you have some good protein, make sure you have a little bit of good fat. Combine it. It blunts the rise in blood sugar so that it doesn't go into higher levels, and the insulin does not have to get excreted to bring that sugar to the fat cells. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. I love it. I love how you call insulin an insult. That's beautiful. And that's so nicely to memorize. So I think we all can, we will all not forget what you said there. So that's really beautiful. I know we are running a little bit short in time, but I would like to know, Tina, what is your superpower? So I feel you've already mentioned about 3, but if you had to name one superpower, what is your superpower, Tina?
First of all, we have all the time in the world that we need. It's all there for us. My superpower is, I have 2. And one of them is I walk into a room and meet people, and they feel, and I time and time again in my entire life, that they feel like they've known me for a very long time. I feel part of their family, part of their world, part of their knowing. A lot of times they'll even say, hey, is your name Kim? Do I know you? So I have this comforting feeling about me, and familiarity. That's the word. Familiarity, that I can help people feel at ease and just feel like I'm an old friend within minutes. Within minutes. Yeah, that's one. And the second one is I see people. I see the good in them. I see, even if everyone else, one of my best friends, everyone hated, and they're like, how can you be friends with him? I said, because I see who he is. I see him. He's such a good person. He's just afraid when he's with people, and he acts like a butt, but I see him. So that's a superpower of mine.
Beautiful. I love that. So gorgeous. Where can we find you, Tina?
You can find me at my website is tinamcdermott.com. I keep things easy.
Awesome.
I keep things super easy.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I believe that you also offer a breakthrough session or something like this. Talk us through this.
I would love to offer anyone who's listening, to your listeners, a breakthrough session with me. And it's tinamcdermott.com/breakthrough. And you fill out the application. And anyhow, it's about me helping you find clarity on what your health and wellness goals are. We uncover what it is that's sabotaging your success with your eating. And I promise you'll leave the session inspired and ready to lose the weight and keep it off forever. And that is my gift to you. It's zero cost, $350 value. Happy to give it to you.
Beautiful. I love it. This is so very generous. Amazing. I would love to know, or could you please share 3 gold nuggets with my audience here? So you've shared amazing wisdom. It's been an amazing interview, but just 3 gold nuggets so that they can refer to those gold nuggets or have 3 quick things in their minds when they think of you. I mean, I feel they've got lots of things in their minds, but yeah, 3
I'm going to give
quick golden nuggets.
I got it. 3 golden nuggets. I'm going to give them to you really quickly. Number 1, drink half your body weight in ounces of day of water. Drink pure water. Drink your water. Drink your water. Your water is what flushes toxins. Drink half your body weight in pure water every single day. Number 2, walk and stretch daily. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. I don't care if you stretch for 1 minute. Walk and stretch daily. Okay. And number 3, I want everyone in this world to remember that you are here on this planet Earth for joy and for love, because you are love and you are joy. If you don't feel joy in that moment, reach for better feeling thoughts. And how do you get there? I get there through appreciation, through gratitude, through petting my kitties or my dogs, and just for loving and appreciating everything that's around me. So if I'm in the muck down here, not feeling right, I reach for joy. I reach for joy every single time. And through appreciation, through petting my dogs, through breathing, through walking, stretching, drinking my water.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I love it. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would still love to mention today in this interview? I feel I have to have you back because I know there are certain things we haven't even had time to touch about. But is there something that you would still like to say that I haven't had the time to ask you?
We covered so many things, and I love and joy. Let's just come back to that. Love and joy. Remember, we are here for love and joy. And I'm happy to be back on your show anytime. Anytime.
Thank you so much, Tina. You are love, you are joy, and I have loved and enjoyed every single minute of this interview, and I'm sure my audience will do so as well. Thank you so much for helping me and so many others to make our world a happier, healthier place. You are absolutely amazing. You're an inspiration. I love you, and I can't wait to have you back. Thank you for you, dear Tina.
You are so welcome, Ruth. I love you as well.
Take care, beautiful. I hope you loved and enjoyed this interview as much as I did. If you did, then please do me a favor and help me on my mission to make this world a healthier, happier place. And you can do so by liking, subscribing to, sharing, and reviewing this podcast, because this will help others to find the content in this podcast too. I know that you were born to live your best life and to feel absolutely wonderful in your beautiful body, your brilliant mind, and your boundless soul. So what are you still waiting for? Please make sure you do. I'm your biggest cheerleader. Keep glowing. Much love.